Hi all, this is a review of my Swiss yen trade I did this week on the 15 minutes. So my analysis for this starts from over here when I see that there was a fair bit of accumulation going on over here in the 15 minutes. Buyers building up positions and then they break out and make it up to this high, come back down to test this accumulation area, get the buy liquidity and go up, but they fail to make a higher high. Once I saw this failure to make a higher high from this test at 2, what I was thinking was I was looking for a higher low or an equal low at around 3. And I wanted to see some signs of accumulation happening on the 15 ideally, or on the 3 minutes before thinking of buys. And the reason I expected some support, the reason I required some sort of accumulation to show itself was because given that the buys over here failed to make higher high, I thought probably either the buyers need a better price or they need to build up positions for longer, because this test would have taken away some of the excess buy liquidity from this area, was my thinking, and it was not sufficient to break the highs. Now when I saw this happen, which was no sign of accumulation, just a very sharp reaction, even on the 3 minutes it was a very sharp reaction, so it looked like a higher low, but I was completely skeptical about this. It just did not make logical sense to me that this is something that can be relied upon to hit an entry for. Even if my entry was fairly low, I don't think I would have played this. I would not have played this because I was very skeptical of this spike. I thought this was like a trap and that this would still come down. So that is indeed what happened. You see that this move got spiked, it did come down, and then it just hung around over here for a little bit at this area. So as you recall just a few minutes ago, I had said I require some evidence of accumulation happening over here. So I went down time frames to see if this was happening, and I saw that yes, indeed this was happening. At that logical buys area, it's made a bit of a high low and it had halted in the 3 minutes, and there was accumulation, or what I thought was accumulation happening, buyers building up their positions. So, but it did not get in around here. I still needed to see some sort of confirmation. And I also, so my entry was a little bit late on this. And my ideal entry, I think, I took my entry from the 1 minute, but my ideal entry, I think, should have been, I'll say where. So my actual entry was here, but my ideal entry should have been over here. But I missed it because I was away from the computer for a small amount of time, and it just moved up. But because it had met my criteria of I need to see accumulation happening over here, buyers building up their positions and then price going up, because it had met my criteria, I thought this was still good enough. It was still low enough for me to take the trade. So I just took the trade with the logical stop loss of all the way below here, and a smaller risk as well. Now trade went quite well, moved in my favor really quickly, and once I saw over here some kind of slowdown happening, I removed 72% of my positions. So I removed 72% when I saw that this range was forming. Oops. Yeah. When I saw that this range was forming and this spike happened, I think it's clearer in the 1 minute. Yes, so I saw this happening over here, and once I saw that there was just slowdown happening over here, I took out 72% of my positions. I think that's why I took it out. But the reasoning for taking it out was it was near this resistance. It was nearing this resistance, and I thought on a higher time frame, all of this could just be seen as a big fake out up. So I thought this was an okay area to take out some positions, but looks like my read may have been a little bit incorrect here. But I think it's mostly okay. So once I took out 72% of my positions there and let this run up. Price made a very sharp turn down, but I decided I will not take positions away over there because this could just be another bit of accumulation happening before it goes higher. And in the best case scenario, I actually saw this going all the way towards this area over here. If these sellers were just going to stop at the support without breaking it. So in that scenario, I saw it getting up to over here. So I had that idea in mind, but I knew that I must respect the lower time frame resistances and the lower time frame action. So once I saw too many signs of trouble over here, I let that sharp move down happen. I let this sharp move down happen as well in case this was a big fake out down. But once I saw that the buys came up and really could not continue the momentum, and this sell started to come down, I thought, okay, this is a genuine move down by the sellers. So I exited with the remaining positions over here. So in this trade overall, managed to make a decent profit, and I think what I did well in this trade was I had a right idea for the entry. My entry conditions were very good, and I played according to that. My exit here was a little bit premature, but I was just looking at the top of this range and thinking maybe that's the exit area. But overall, I think it was a well-managed trade. So thanks, and comments and questions are very much welcome.